Good morning class, welcome back. So we are in the series of completing our chapter mechanical properties of fluids. In the last class we started with the concept of surface tension and we discussed some basic concepts related to it. So let us revise once what we discussed in the last class. So what is surface tension? It is a property of liquid by virtue of which it tends to occupy the minimum surface area. ठीक है, and we discussed why surface tension is the property of liquid. This is due to the cohesive forces between the molecules of that liquid. There are two types of forces, cohesive forces and adhesive forces. The forces that acts between the similar types of molecules is called as a cohesive force, and the force that acts between two dissimilar types of molecules is called as a adhesive force. So if you ask me the example of cohesive force and adhesive force, then what we can say, if we take a glass of water, then the force that acts between the molecules of water, then it is called as the cohesive force, and the force that acts between the molecules of glass and the molecules of water, that force is called as a adhesive force. So this is a generally asked question, why water wets the glass but mercury does not wet the glass. For example, if you take a glass and if you pour some mercury in it and then you pour it back, then you will see that there are no droplets of mercury on the glass. Why? Because the cohesive force between the molecules of mercury is greater than the adhesive force between the glass and mercury itself. That is why mercury does not wet the glass but water does. Right? So this was a small revision of cohesive force and adhesive force. Then we discussed some basic things about surface tension. How do we define it mathematically? For defining it mathematically, we draw one imaginary line on the surface of that liquid, and then the force that acts normally on that line per unit length is called as surface tension. The force that acts normally on the line per unit length is called as the surface tension. Right? So this was the definition of surface tension, and then we discussed that as we increase the temperature, the surface tension of the liquid decreases. On increasing the temperature, the surface tension of the liquid decreases. And इसकी application क्या थी कि hot water is used for washing the clothes and not cold water. Why? Because for hot water the cohesive force between the molecules of water is decreased, and therefore the molecules of water can spread over a large area, and that is why they can enter the small pores of the cloth very easily and they can take out the dirt from there. That is why hot water is used, because the surface tension of hot water is less as compared to the surface tension of cold water, right? And then we discussed the variation of surface tension. We discussed that when we add some less soluble substance like soaps and detergents to the liquid, then the surface tension of the liquid decreases. And if we dissolve a highly soluble substance like table salt, then the surface tension of the liquid or water increases. So we discussed these things, and now with these things we are now going to study the concept of surface energy in this class. So please write down the heading surface energy. Surface energy. This is another important concept from which questions are framed in the exams. So let us now see the concept of surface energy. To understand the concept of surface energy, let us take some liquid in a beaker or a tumbler or a tub or a container, whatever you want to say. Okay, let's say this is one container and we fill it with some liquid, say water. Assume that we have taken water in this container, right? Now this container contains water, so obviously lots and lots of molecules of water will be present in this container, right? So we say that there are two kinds of molecules. One type of molecules are those which are present inside the liquid like this, and the other types of molecules are those which are present on the surface. So I am drawing the surface molecules like this. So the molecules of liquid that are present inside the liquid, they are called as the bulk molecules, right? And the molecules which are present on the surface of the liquid are called as surface molecules. And it is important to know that the properties of bulk molecules are very different than the properties of surface molecules. How? Let us see. Now if we consider this molecule of the liquid, then obviously there will be lots and lots of molecules present around this particular molecule. So what they do, due to the cohesive force, the other molecules attract this molecule. So a lot of molecule like this will be present around this particular molecule, and they all will try to attract this particular molecule like this. So all in all, there will be a sphere of molecules present around this particular molecule, and all those molecules will try to attract this particular molecule. For example, if we consider, if we take this molecule, then there will be a molecule present on the opposite side of it, and for every molecule there will be a counter molecule present on the opposite side, and because of which the net force on this particular molecule will be zero. So we say that for the molecules present inside the liquid, or for the bulk molecules, the net force on the bulk molecules is zero. Fine. Now if we consider the surface molecule which is present on the surface of the liquid, then there are no molecules of liquid present in this region. So there will be molecules present like this, and this will be a hemisphere of molecules, and these molecules will again try to attract this surface molecule like this. Okay? So these two forces will cancel out each other, and if we take this force and this force, the horizontal component will cancel out and their downward component will add up. So the net force on this surface molecule will be in the downward direction. I hope I am clear about this point. The net force on the bulk molecule is zero, whereas the net force on the surface molecule is in the downward direction, right? So for all the molecules that are present on the surface, that is for surface molecules, the net force is in the downward direction. Okay? The bulk molecules try to attract the surface molecules downward, but instead of this, the surface molecules do not go downwards. That means they possess some extra energy. If you see on the microscopic level, what happens is the surface molecules go downwards and the empty space is created, and the other molecules will go up and fill up that space. So this process keeps repeating on, and if we under microscopic observation, this surface of the surface of the liquid is under continuous turbulence, right? So all in all, the surface of the liquid possesses some extra energy. Now due to this extra energy possessed by the surface molecules, what happens is they are unstable, because we know more is the energy possessed by any body, the more unstable it will be. Okay? So the surface molecules, they have some extra energy because of which they are on the surface. Okay? So they possess some extra energy, and because of this extra energy they are quite unstable. So they would like to gain stability. So how they try to gain the stability is, because more is the surface area, more will be the molecules and more will be the downward force, and more will be the surface energy, and more they will be unstable. So to gain stability, they try to minimize their energy, and how they try to minimize their energy? By reducing their surface area. And this is what the reason is behind surface tension. The surface molecules try to reduce their surface area to gain stability, to minimize their energy, right? So this extra energy possessed by the surface molecules, the extra energy possessed by the surface molecules, okay, per unit area is, as compared to the bulk molecules or the molecules in the interior, is called as surface energy. So this is how the surface energy is defined as. I hope this is clear to you. Okay? The extra energy possessed by the surface molecules per unit area as compared to the molecules in the interior is called as surface energy. So please write down the definition of surface energy. Please write down the extra energy possessed by the extra energy possessed by the molecules of surface, the extra energy possessed by the molecules of surface of unit area compared to the molecules in the interior, is called as surface energy. It is called as surface energy. So this is how we define the surface energy, and you should know the basic concept that I explained here. Okay? Now please write down the next heading. The next heading is work done in increasing the surface area of a film. Work done in increasing the surface area of a film. Let me erase this right now. So the next topic is work done in increasing the surface area of a film. Now this topic is quite important from the examination point of view because questions are framed based on this topic. Okay? Work done in increasing the surface area of a film. So let us say there is a wire frame like this. This is a wire frame and this is one wire A, B, C and D. So this is a wire frame ABCD and this wire AB is movable. We can move this wire backward or forward. Okay? So now consider this frame is dipped inside the soap solution. So what will happen when you take out this frame wire again out? So a film of soap will be formed on this surface. Okay? There will be a soap film formed on this surface, right? Now because of this soap film, this movable wire AB will experience a force in the backward direction due to the surface tension. Because due to the surface tension, the molecules of this film, they try to minimize their surface area, and because they try to minimize their surface area, they try to pull this wire in the backward direction due to the surface tension. Okay? Suppose L is the length of this wire AB. Okay? So what force this wire AB will experience in the backward direction? We have discussed that surface tension T is equal to F perpendicular upon L. So F will be equal to T into L. So if T is the surface tension of the film, then T multiplied by the length of this wire will give the force acting on this wire. But remember, this force is only due to the one surface, and in the last class I told you that a surface film has two surfaces. So because of two surfaces, the force that will experience by the wire AB will be 2 into T into L. So force experienced by wire AB due due to surface tension is equal to 2 into T into L. This 2 is multiplied because there are two surfaces of the film. One is forward and the other one is behind it. So we have multiplied it with 2, and this is the value of force due to one surface. F is equal to T into L. So this is the net force experienced by the wire AB in the backward direction due to the surface tension of the film. Right? Now what we do is we apply an equal amount of force which is equal to 2TL in the forward direction, and we move this wire AB forward very slowly, ensuring that its kinetic energy is always 0. So we apply an equal amount of force F, this is F external, which is equal to again F, okay? We apply this force in the forward direction and we move this wire by distance, say x. So this is A dash, B dash, the new position, and this distance is x. Fine. So we have moved this movable wire AB forward by distance x by applying an equal amount of force equal to this force F very slowly. Fine. So now if I ask you the work done by external agent, so work done by external agent W is equal to, what will be the work done by external agent? We are applying the force in this direction and the displacement is also occurring in this direction. So work done will be force into distance. So we write force into distance. Okay? And what is the value of force? Force is 2TL. So 2TL into x. This is the work done by external agent. Fine. So if we want to rewrite it as, we can rewrite as T into 2Lx. Now what is this 2Lx? This is L and this is x. So L into x will be this area. Okay? So 2Lx will be the total increase in the surface area of the film. Because there are two surfaces, so the area will also increase 2 times. So this is Lx and the area of the film behind it will be 2Lx. So 2Lx is the total increase in the surface area. Okay? So we can write it as E into delta A, where delta A is total increase in surface area. I hope you are getting till here. So work done by external agent is force into distance. We have applied an equal amount of force which is due to the surface tension, and this is 2 into TL. So 2 into TL into x, because we have moved the distance x, so it will be 2TL into x, and we have taken out T here. This is 2Lx, and 2Lx if we see is the total increase in the surface area of the film. Fine. So W is equal to T into delta A. Okay? I hope things are clear till here. Now if I ask you, where is this work done gone? This work done has gone in increasing the surface area or the surface energy of the film. This work done is used in increasing the surface area of the film. So if increase in the surface area of the film will be the increase in the surface area of the film, delta U, it will be W. Okay? So from these two equations we can write delta U is equal to W is equal to T into delta A. Fine. So this is a very important equation that you need to remember. Now from this equation you can also note that the increase in the surface area, the increase in surface energy depends on the increase in surface area. That means more is the surface area, more is the energy, and less is the surface area, less is the energy. Also from here you can define surface tension T as delta U upon delta A. So this is again the same definition that we have written. ठीक है, from here you can define the surface tension T as change in surface energy per unit increase in area. So this is called as surface tension. And if you ask me the unit from here the SI unit of surface tension will be joule per meter square. This is a mu unit. Till now we know that the SI unit of surface tension is Newton per meter, and from here now we have another unit of the surface tension which is joule per meter square, right? So please note this down very carefully, ठीक है? And this is very important. And now we shall see some numerical problems based on this concept. So this is a very important concept that you need to remember. Fine. I hope everyone has noted this down. So now I am going to erase this, and now we shall see some numerical problems based on this concept of work done in increasing the surface area of a pellet. So please write down the first question. I am dictating the question. Please write it down. Okay, let me write the question here for you. ठीक है? The question is, calculate the work done in blowing a soap bubble from a radius of 2 centimeter to 3 centimeter. The surface tension of the soap solution is of the soap solution is 30 dyne per centimeter. So please read the question carefully. The question says, calculate the work done in blowing a soap bubble. Calculate the work done in blowing a soap bubble from a radius of 3 centimeter to 2 centimeter to 3 centimeter. The surface tension of the soap solution is 30 dyne per centimeter. Since the radius is given in centimeters and the surface tension is also given in dyne per centimeter, so everything is in CGS unit. So let us solve in the CGS units itself. Let us not convert these units to the SI unit, and the answer that we will finally get will also be in the CGS unit. And since we want to calculate the work done, so instead of joule, our work done will be calculated in erg. ठीक है? So the CGS unit of work done is erg, and 1 joule is equal to 10 raised to the power 7 erg. I hope you already know this relation very well. ठीक है? So work done in blowing a soap bubble from radius of, there is a soap bubble of radius 2 centimeter, and now we have blown it up, and now it is the soap bubble of radius 3 centimeter. So we have to calculate the work done. So work done, just now we see work increase in surface energy delta U, which is equal to T into delta A. We know this relation. ठीक है? So to calculate the work done, what we need to have, we need to multiply the surface tension T with the increase in surface area delta A. We already know the value of surface tension because it is given in the question as 30 times per centimeter. We just need to calculate the increase in surface area, right? So if we see the initial surface area, let us denote it by AI. The initial surface area of the soap bubble will be since the initial radius of the soap bubble is 2 centimeter and we know it is in spherical shape, so surface area will be 4 pi r square. ठीक है? But we know because soap bubble or any film has two surfaces, so the total surface area or the initial total surface area will be equal to 2 into 4 pi initial radius का square. ठीक है? So we will have 2 into 4 pi r1 square or r9, say initial radius r9, 2 into 4 pi r I square. So this is 8 pi ri square and the value of ri is 2 centimeter, so this is 2 ka square. So this is 2 to the 4, 4 8 is 32 pi centimeter square. This is the total initial surface area, right? And now if we see the total final surface area, it will be 2 into 4 pi r final का square. ठीक है? This is the final radius. So this is 8 pi multiplied by rf का square, which is given as 3. So this is 3 square and 3 3s are 9 and 8 9s are 72. So this is 72 pi centimeter square. So this is total initial surface area and this is total final surface area. So now we need to calculate the change in surface area. That means increase in surface area delta A will be equal to AF total final surface area minus total initial surface area, and this will be 72 pi centimeter square minus 32 pi centimeter square. 72 pi centimeter square minus 32 pi centimeter square, and this comes out to be 40 pi centimeter square. I hope this is clear till here. Now since we want to calculate the work done, so work done is simply T into delta A. So work done is equal to T into delta A. So work done will be equal to value of T is given as 30 dyne per centimeter multiplied by delta A is 40 pi centimeter square. 40 pi centimeter square. So W will be equal to 4 3s are 1200 pi earth. You can put the value of pi if you want, otherwise you can leave the answer like this also. So work done will be equal to 1200 pi earth. This is a final answer, right? So please note this down. I hope you must have understood the solution quite well. Okay? I'm sure there will be no doubts. It is very simple. We just have to calculate the work done, and work done is equal to change in surface energy, or say T into delta A, surface tension into increase in surface area. So we have calculated the total initial surface area and we have multiplied this 2 because there are two surfaces of the soap bubble or the film. Okay? So 2 into 4 pi initial radius का square, and similarly to calculate the total final initial area we have 2 into 4 pi rf का square. So this is we have, and then we calculated the change in surface area and simply we plug in the values and we got our answer. Right? Fine. So I hope we have noted this down. I am going to erase this now, and now let us move to our next question. So please write down the next question. The next question says, let me write the next question again on the board. The next question says the surface tension of a soap solution is the surface tension of a soap solution is of a soap solution is 0.03 Newton per meter. ठीक है? How much work is done to produce a soap bubble? How much work is done to produce a soap bubble of radius 0.05 meter. So please, this is the question. Read the question carefully and try to solve this if you can solve. ठीक है? So now I am going to explain. The question says the surface tension of a soap solution is 0.03 Newton per meter. ठीक है? Surface tension की वैल्यू पे दे रखी है and we have been asked how much work is done to produce a soap bubble of radius 0.05 meter. ठीक है? We know our formula. What we know? Work done is equal to change in surface energy delta U is equal to T into delta A. Surface tension multiplied by increase in surface area. Fine. So this is the thing. Now we have to produce a soap bubble of radius 0.05 meter. So we can safely assume that there is no soap bubble initially and the initial surface energy of the soap bubble is therefore 0. So if we write delta U as UF minus UI, that means final surface energy minus initial surface energy. So we can safely assume that the initial surface energy is 0. So final initial surface energy, that means U, will come out to be T into delta A. Right? So we can easily use this relation U is equal to T into delta A. ठीक है? So since there is no soap bubble initially, so initial surface area will also